Good evening, football fans. You're live with Morgan Holder. Third down with Morgan Holder. I am Morgan.
And I'm Holder. Welcome to the show. Hopefully, Sean has something lined up pretty good for us tonight.
Why is it always me? Why can't you do it?
Because it's Morgan Holder, not Holder Morgan.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, we do got some good topics to talk about on the show tonight. Uh, really good. I do believe really good topics. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and
How
jump.
good?
Do what?
How good?
I'm gonna say 10 out of 10 for sure. I
You
want
would.
to I want to go ahead and give my shout outs. I threw a new one in there. I took one off and threw a new one in there just because Holder was always talking about how I don't have nobody that interviews coaches or players. The guy I'm about to give a shout out. He talks to players, college and professional, along with the coaches and players as well. So with that being said, I want to give a shout out to First Take with the best analyst Stephen A. Smith, the Manning Cat. The Manning cast was one of the greatest quarterbacks, and Peyton Manning and his little brother Eli Manning. Also, with the new one, I want to give a shout out is with Out of the Pocket with RG3. That one, he talks to the
Getting
players and
worse and
coaches.
worse, man.
What? RG3 would have been awesome if he didn't get hurt.
It would have been.
Go with your lame picks. We know who yours is.
Well, since you know, who are they?
We know Ryan Clark. It's one of them.
The pivot.
And then Pat McAfee show with Pat McAfee.
You know Pat McAfee, the ex-punter for the Indianapolis Colts.
Also, he does commentary for wrestling.
Okay, and the next one?
Rich Eisenhower, or whatever his name is.
Rich Eisen.
That's what I said, Rich Eisen. That's what I said.
You said Eisenhower, but yeah, I get it. Okay, the best of the best.
Older. Before we get on topic, do you have anything you want to add to the show? I know I sent over what I want to talk about to you, yesterday. But do you have anything you want to add to it?
No, not really. We can talk about my issues when we come to the picks. Or actually, the games that were played before tomorrow.
Okay, we can do that. I want to start with one, and this one it kind of I don't know if it's even something they should be worried about, but I kind of think it is because they dropped three in a row, and that's Washington. Should they be worried after dropping three straight? Do you think there's still a threat in the NFC in that division with the Cowboys, Giants, and Philadelphia, or do you think that their time has ran out?
I think it's a little, well, I wouldn't say early, but, I think people are going to be playing Jaden Daniels a lot different now because of what he's put on tape. So I think his offensive line is kind of wavering and not allowing him to do what he normally does. Either that or defenses are catching on. So, I mean, they're still in the chase, so I wouldn't count them out yet.
Now, even though they dropped three, the Cowboys, they picked up two wins in a row, including a home win, which is really, really, really fantastic for the Cowboy fans. But the downfall is that the Cowboys are now in the playoff picture because of that. What do you think Washington should focus on? Should they focus on winning and getting to the playoffs, or do you think they should focus a game at a time?
Well, you have to do one game at a time. You can't get ahead of yourself. You have to look at tape or film and catch your mistakes and correct them. I mean, Dallas has to win out. Are they really
I don't.
in the playoff hunt?
They're still in a playoff picture. I seen it. watching the game. They're right there in the playoff picture, but they do have to win out. They need to win out. They also need the Lions and the Vikings to drop games, um, so they can be in a wild card hunt, for sure. Which I don't see the Lions losing that many games. I mean, we're in week 13, so we got a couple more, 5 more weeks left. So I don't see the Lions dropping any games than they should. I don't see them losing five straight or anything like that. So
Yeah, I don't either. So I mean,
I mean, the Vikings on here, the
oh
Vikings they can drop two or three, but they shouldn't drop to get the Cowboys in the playoffs.
no,
Um,
no way. I can't see it. I know, like you said, that you probably saw it somewhere that's still in the hunt, but I don't think they're going to make it.
I don't think so either. I think they're long gone. What do you think Washington needs to work on? Do you think Washington needs to work on? Is it the offensive line, defensive line? Is it defense? Is it offense? Special teams? Does Jade does he making a lot of mistakes? What do you think they need to focus on to make themselves in that playoff picture stay?
I don't think they have to do much of anything. Is Lattimore starting yet? Has he played?
I don't.
Uh,
I I can't. I don't know if he even played the last game. I know he was out against the Cowboys. I know he didn't play then, but I don't know if he played last game. And I'm gonna look now.
wasn't the last game was against the Cowboys, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was against Cowboys. Yeah, he didn't play then.
Yeah, I mean that's their only weak link because if they take St. Juice out, he's a weak link there. So they get Lattimore in there. They shore up the secondary, and I think all the weapons are in place. I don't think they have any major injuries on offense, not weapon wise.
So where do you? They got Tennessee
They
next.
just
They got Tennessee next, and I know the picks. We're gonna talk about those. But if Washington loses against Tennessee, what do you see them at if they lose?
that's up to everybody else. Everybody if everybody loses in their division, they keep hope alive, right?
Right.
Um, but at the same time, I don't. I think they just need to play football. Put your nose to the grindstone, look ahead, and say, "Hey, this is what we have in front of us. We need to take control of our destiny and just play ball, man." I mean, they have what it takes to get in.
Um. Okay. I just wanted to ask that question because I feel like if they lose four straight, I think that their chemistry and maybe their mindset will be totally different. Of they was winning, now they're losing, so it's like, oh,
They
our
should
mind
have kept Chase Young.
our mindset's gonna be different. Yeah, they should have kept Chase Young. I agree. But they did get some picks for him. So, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
What do you think they need to do?
I I'm gonna say chemistry. I don't think chemistry is quite there because you gotta think most of these players are the first time with Washington. There's a couple that's not, but you also got a new coach over there. I'm gonna say chemistry. I think chemistry maybe. I'll say right now this: the way they played this year, if they stick with next year. Everybody stay healthy. Everybody stay on track. I think they would be a threat next year in the NFC East.
Will they win the division or give the Eagles
They
a
will
run for their money?
they will definitely get the Eagles run for their money. Now the other two teams, the Cowboys and Giants, they're going to need luck on their side, but definitely, I feel like the Eagles will have a time on their hands with Washington. I mean, they got time on their hands with Washington now, but again, next year is going to be a lot different than this year. And you got to think off season, you got draft picks, So can Washington add more depth than what they have?
Where do you think they'll go? Offense or defense?
I
Both
think
ways?
I think they would probably sign some other people because I think Bobby Wagner is going to retire. Of course, you need a linebacker. If that's the case, if he retires, I would say get a linebacker in a draft. Depends on who's out there in the free agency, but I would say go get a linebacker in draft with the first pick.
Yeah, somebody that can go sideline to sideline. And Bobby plays in the middle. So, yeah, they need to show up against the run, too.
So yeah, definitely. I want to. I like to see where Washington goes. They've had some bumpy years, some rough years at that, and I want them to change it around.
Right.
So
Okay. That's a
um,
fair assessment.
oh for sure.
You can go to sleep now.
Next up, this was an iffy question for me that I wanted to ask, but I think we was both on the same page with this. But this next one, what broke down behind the last seconds in the Bears Lions game? I want to put blame where blame goes, and that's on Caleb Williams because he wasn't paying attention to the clock. If you're that leader and that captain, you need to pay attention to that clock. But it also goes back to the coach. The coach should have called a timeout. If you seen your quarterback out there wasting time and couldn't get things together, call that last timeout.
Oh, definitely. I agree with you on both. When you watch I don't know if you saw the highlight reel on that, but yeah, I mean, Caleb just is trying to get the play right, and he's looking on both sides of the line of scrimmage, and he's just standing there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, the clock is running down, and then, like you said,
I thought they was going to call a
Eberflus
timeout.
should have called a timeout.
I mean, he was hitting his helmet, trying to get everything together. I believe.
They're in field goal range.
I'm
They are in
oh
field goal range.
well yeah well when he got sacked, kind of took him out. But if you would have got say a run play off or like a little maybe 5 yard dump pass, spike the ball, field goal range, take that field goal kick, run to overtime. Yes, I agree with you. But that
If they would have took that timeout, they wouldn't have had much time. They would have had to have the field goal unit on standby, ready to run out and snap the ball on time. I mean, so they were kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I still well because
They had
you
plenty
got to
of
think
time.
if you did that
20 something seconds,
even if you did a run
almost
play you could
30
run
seconds.
out of balance and get that clock to
Call a
stop.
timeout. You can call a timeout, run a sideline play or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the way Caleb Williams was running the game, I mean, he had enough speed to get out of balance.
Man, I don't know, man. It's just a Bears thing, right?
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you do you
Think about it. But look, Morgan, when you look at Eberflus's record, he's 14-32 in the 3 years that he's been there with Bears. Since he's been with the Bears, that's horrible.
That's definitely terrible. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you on that part. Where, where do you where do you think the blame should be at though? Do you think the front office should be blamed for even letting him stay? I mean, I know they got rid of him recently, but do you think that blame them for letting him stay, or do you blame himself for getting in that predicament of getting those losses?
I mean, it's just like any other team with. I mean, how many teams have coaches on the hot seat right now?
Oh, there's
Right, the Raiders,
the Raiders,
uh,
Carolina.
Cowboys.
Um,
I mean,
I would say probably
the Jets
Jacksonville.
have fired theirs, right? The Jets did their due diligence. Now, I didn't think
Maybe
he
the
needed to be
Giants.
fired. I think that was Carl Rogers' fault.
Oh yeah. I agree with you.
But I mean, in the case of the Bears, this is the same song they've been playing for how long?
Since what? I'm gonna say since Russ Grossman. I mean, you know,
After they let Lovie
Lovie
Smith
Smith
go.
go. Yeah, I mean when they let him go, I think the that organization has went downhill. And here's the thing: he went to the Super Bowl. He didn't win the wild card game that following year, and then you fire him. He had a winning record with you guys. I mean, even with a crappy quarterback in Rex Grossman, I don't get it.
You don't get it?
No, I don't get it.
Well, they also had what was that guy? Number 6. My wife hates him. He used to play with Denver. Oh my goodness, what is his name? Oh, I can't remember.
Are you talking about the quarterback they had?
Yeah, he used to play with Denver. Him and Marshall were in Denver together, and then they both went to Chicago.
Oh my God! Tip of my tongue.
Pretty
boy.
Pretty boy. I'm trying to look him up right now.
Pretty boy. He was
Pretty boy, really?
Jay Cutler. I say pretty boy because he reminded me of Tom Brady. Had one breakout year and then went downhill after that. I mean, he reminds me of Tom Brady just because he was, he didn't want to get hit in the legs. He didn't want to run the ball.
Kyle Orton, Jim Harbaugh, Bob Avellini. Oh my goodness, the list goes on and on. I forgot about Cade McNown, Cordell Stewart. It's like Cleveland. It's like it's an athlete graveyard, right?
Absolutely.
You get a guy who's talented, and then when he goes to Chicago, he turns into crap.
Well, it's like my dad said. My dad said, when you go to Cleveland, your career is over with, right? And he said that this past week, watching the Cowboys game because he's a Cowboys fan. He said, son, next year Prescott's going to go to Cleveland because that's where your career ends right there. The second you go to Cleveland, you're washed up. Career's done. And he might be on something with that. I mean, same thing with you said about the Bears. So.
Now, Matt Barkley wasn't a bad quarterback either. I mean, he wasn't horrible, but when he went to Chicago.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you gotta think. I mean, we know Trubisky was terrible, but Justin Fields wasn't terrible, and it's shown like in Pitt. The question is Caleb Williams terrible, or is that shown because of Chicago? Chicago's terrible.
Well, I think if they can catch this early, they can save Caleb. I mean, they've got to make some big time changes and get some quality in there.
Let me ask you a question: if you were Chicago right now, would you trade Caleb Williams just to freshen him up to get him for example, like Justin Fields, or would you keep him and try to get him with a coach that can mold him to be better?
Right? No, I wouldn't trade him. I think he's proven what he's capable of. There's just no consistency.
I mean,
So I would get him a coach that can coach him up, get him on time with his passes, help him read some defenses. I mean,
we already
capability. I mean, he's just amazing the way he gets out of trouble.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I told you this. I told you in college. When he played college, he was one of the best quarterbacks in college, and I know NFL is different from college, but I think he could be fantastic in NFL.
Yeah, sure you do.
So,
of course you do. Yeah, I think he could be too. I mean, I don't want to say fantastic, but I think he will be.
He's gonna be more. He's not gonna be average. He's
conversation amongst the good ones.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't think he'll be a bust, but only time will tell. With the Bears finding their coach, who do you think is going to be the replacement for him?
Don't have no idea. Don't know which direction they can go in.
I mean, Dion's on the radar for
offensive coordinators out there.
Do you think they should go after Dion, or do you think maybe Brian Flores?
Oh no, I think Dion needs to stay in the collegiate ranks.
I agree 100%.
I'm not a big Dion fan when it comes to coaching in the NFL.
I think he's going to be a crybaby, but that's my take. I mean, Brian Flores, he's getting a lot of attention now since he's been, Pittsburgh, Minnesota. Do you think that the Bears could go after him?
Possibility.
Do you think
I
he'd be a
mean,
good fit for
anything's
Chicago?
possible.
I don't want him.
But oh my gosh,
I don't want him to go to Chicago, and not just because we'll plot to play against him, but I think if he goes to Chicago, they're going to treat him like they have treated other coaches before him. Get him no talent, um, players that doesn't want to be there, doesn't want to play, and lose. They're gonna, and they're gonna fire him like they did this last one. That's me though. That's how I feel.
is that how you feel?
That's how I feel. Because Flores is
Well,
not
I
a
mean,
Flores ain't a bad coach. I mean, we've seen Miami. He turned Miami around. He has his moments, but
Morgan, I'm very, when you brought up the word bust, I I felt like I got struck by lightning twice because do you recall that message I sent you about the two teams that are interested in Daniel Jones?
oh my God, we're not going to talk about that, are
And
we?
we said that was hypothetical, right?
Right.
But then breaking news. The Minnesota Vikings pulled the trigger.
But here's the thing, and he's on a practice squad as of right now. For right now, he's on practice squad. Okay. But the question I have is he there to back up JJ McCarthy, or is he there to back up Sam Donald next year? That's the question.
Well, let me ask you this, because you're a fan. Is J.J. McCarthy going to start depending on what Darnold does?
Here's me.
And if McCarthy starts, is Darnold going to stay there? I don't think other teams have. He's pretty much putting his resume out there right now.
And that's what I fear. I fear because he has so much chemistry with JJ, with Jordan Addison, with Kevin O'Connell. He has so much chemistry with those guys. I honestly fear that he's going to leave and he's going to go to a team that's going to need him, and that's going to leave us with JJ McCarthy and Daniel Jones.
So McCarthy is the starter next year. That's what you're telling me.
If Donald leaves, yeah. Hey, I believe it's going to be his team. I mean, he was going to start this year, but the way Donald's playing, if you now
if they come to Donald and say, hey, McCarthy's coming back, you're going to be our number two. Now, with that, you can have a pretty good number two. I would rather have a really good backup. I mean, with the Russell Wilson, Justin Fields thing, you need a good backup. I mean,
but to me,
depending on how long. Now, you can use Daniel Jones as trade or draft.
That's true. Now, Grant, we did sign Daniel Jones to 1 year. Maybe they got him to see if Sam would stay. If Sam would stay, I think Jones will be gone. If Sam leaves, I think Jones will be there backing up JJ McCarthy. I don't see Daniel Jones starting unless JJ gets hurt. Maybe we can keep both and trade JJ for some draft picks. Maybe get some line because we need some linemen. Maybe a couple defensive players. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of options that we can do. I would rather have Sam over Daniel Jones. But
sure you would. You wouldn't get a lot of draft capital for him, but
no,
there are teams out there that are desperate. I mean, look at quarterbacks that have gone to other teams and have been successful. Your favorite quarterback, Baker Mayfield.
He's not my favorite quarterback. I'll never say that again. I mean, look. Okay, so Daniel Jones, practice squad, signed for 1 year. Maybe he get traded to. I'm gonna say the Panthers. Maybe even go down the line and trade him to Cleveland. Cleveland cuts Deshaun Watson. Daniel Jones goes to Cleveland. We'll get about a fourth or fifth pick. We can use those fourth or fifth picks to get a good lineman and maybe a defensive player or maybe two linemen, and then we'll have depth with Sam and depth with JJ still, or we can turn around and trade JJ, keep Sam and keep Daniel Jones, trade JJ for maybe a fifth and sixth pick round. And again, you can trade him to either the Panthers or you can turn around and trade him maybe to Dallas, and Dallas can trade Dak Prescott. And then there's ways and things that we can do. We know the Giants need a quarterback. We know maybe Cleveland, like I said, they can let go of Deshaun Watson. We know Dallas is in the hunt for another quarterback.
Need a quarterback.
The Jets, we don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. The Jets need a quarterback. I mean, so there's a lot of options out there. I mean, maybe Seattle. I mean, Geno Smith might retire. Maybe Seattle might need a quarterback.
Well, does he go to other teams as a backup?
I believe Daniel Jones. Are we talking about Daniel Jones, or are we talking about Darnold or JJ? Who are we talking about here?
Jones, Danny Dimes.
I think Jones will go to a team maybe like I said, like the Panthers, maybe the Cowboys, maybe the Browns. Oh, who else is out there? Maybe Seattle. He might go to those teams and start, but anywhere else, no. I think he would sit the bench.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean,
because
we know
maybe he would sit behind Rodgers if Rodgers stays. I doubt it.
Ideally,
if he
I think the Jets are done with Aaron Rodgers after this year. I hate to say that, but they was already talking about sitting him on a bench before they fired the coach. Before they got Devontae Adams, they wanted him to sit the bench. I think he's going to be done after this year. So maybe he can start over the Giants or the Jets. Maybe he can, go to the Jets and start for them. I don't know. There's
Tennessee.
I don't see Tennessee getting, but again, that's not my call. That's the Tennessee Titans' call, and they could go after him too. Me personally,
they have to really, really scrub a quarterback. Daniel Jones is a cut above him. He can run. He doesn't have the greatest accuracy, but
I think his downfall, Jones' downfall, is playing with the Giants, not having a good coach over there, not having a good quarterback coach. But and that's me being one of those people who despises the East Coast. I can't stand people from the East Coast. So
did you say despise?
Yes, I don't like anybody. I don't like the East Coast teams.
Oh my goodness, Morgan.
I'm just saying.
You're not racking up any good friends here.
I'm not trying to. Maybe we can see. Maybe we can see Trevor Lawrence getting traded and then them bringing in another quarterback for taking over. His place.
Do you actually see that happening?
I don't know, man.
They just gave him a contract last year.
They did, but look at the Giants. The Giants gave Daniel Jones a big old contract, and they let him go. Yeah,
but you know what? I think the Giants realized the mistake they made when they let Saquon go.
That's
with
true.
Jones.
That's true.
And then Jones hasn't done anything. So I think they're kind of trying to save face. Knowing that, didn't he rush like 255 yards or something like that?
He's actually not too far away from Derrick Henry. He's next. He's right there with Derrick Henry with the rushing yards for the year. So, and that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot about that guy.
I'm getting rid of him because they made a grave mistake.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and I don't think they can come back from that. I don't.
No,
I don't. Speaking of mistakes, Kansas City, Taylor Swift, what do you want to call them? Do you think they're going to be a real threat in the playoffs?
Man, please tell me you looked at the highlight reel on that game.
If that fumble did not occur, I think they would have lost.
Oh, they would have lost. It's just like the football gods are with Kansas City right now.
And I know what you was going to say. It's a divisional game. But here's the thing. The Raiders was 2-9. Kansas City should have all the momentum because they only lost against Buffalo. And Buffalo's a good team.
They blew them out. They almost lost. Who else did they almost lose to?
Denver,
That's not really that good.
the Broncos.
I mean, they're escaping by the skin of their teeth.
So let me ask you this question: if hypothetically Kansas City, Buffalo matches up in playoffs, do you think Buffalo's going to come away with that victory, or do you think they're going to give it to Kansas City?
No, they're not going to meet each other.
You don't think they'll meet each other in the AFC Championship? Or do you think, hypothetically, you think the Ravens can put out KC?
Well, right now I think who?
Baltimore. Do you think Baltimore?
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. But do you think Baltimore can put out KC if they match up before the AFC Championship? Whatever. But do you think Baltimore can? Now Baltimore almost beat KC beginning of the year.
No, Lamar can't beat. No, I'm still going to say no. I know you think they can. I'm saying no.
I mean, they came close.
It has to be. It hasn't been proven.
It came close. If Isaiah Likely's foot was not on that line, it would have been a touchdown. KC would have lost.
The same thing with Buffalo. I mean, they've had opportunity after opportunity.
Now Buffalo did beat KC in the regular season game.
In the regular season.
Do you think
in the postseason?
Do you think it's going to be momentum for?
No.
You don't think it's going to be momentum from KC?
I don't.
Or for Buffalo?
It remains to be seen. I'm not that hyped on Allen. I'm not that hyped on Lamar Johnson.
Lamar Jackson.
Johnson.
God. So
I'm not. I mean, when you look at the last game they played, or the last game they lost, his accuracy was horrible.
So let me ask you a question. If it came down to, and I know what you're going to say because it's your team, do you think Pitt can put a whoop on KC?
Absolutely.
I knew he was going to say that. I believe Pittsburgh.
There's going to be personnel changes.
I believe
because they've been in some offensive sets that they had irrelevant people on the field.
I believe Pitt's defense is something that Patrick Mahomes can't escape from. I believe they're going to put a lot of pressure on him. I think TJ is going to give him hell. Not even TJ. It's going to be everybody else as well. I don't think.
But if you look at that game, Max Crosby was not the only one benefiting and getting pressure on Mahomes. I mean, Max Crosby was a huge contributor, yes, but there were other defenders that were. They were blitzing him too.
And not to mention, Casey's defense wasn't even that great in that game. Can you imagine if they match up with Pickens? Who's going to stop Pickens? Who's going to stop Niger? Who's going to stop the other running back y'all got over there?
I'm hoping Mike Williams has got a good grip on the playbook, and then you throw in some Terrell Austin or some Calvin Austin.
And not to mention y'all's tight end Pat. I don't think they can stop him either. So Pittsburgh does have some good utility over there that can take
it just
KC.
Comes down to the quarterback play.
I believe Tomlin got something up his sleeve, and I think he's waiting for the playoffs to show it. I think he got some tricks in there with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields going on field together, and he's not showing it yet because it's not the playoff.
You're telling me you don't see a 3-peat?
I don't see a 3-peat at all. I don't. If it does, something's going on over there. Refs is cheating. Something. I don't see a 3-peat. I don't. You lost. You almost lost 3 times in a row. Denver. Then you went to Buffalo. You got smacked against Buffalo, and you couldn't beat a Las Vegas Raiders team who is fucking terrible in the league right now.
So who's clinched? Detroit.
I think KC's the only. KC, Detroit. Yes, this is the only 2 right now.
Well, there you go. Man, Detroit is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Almost lost against the Bears.
We can talk about them later further down the line. But I mean, if that's the assessment with Kansas City, I guess we sit both pretty rock solid on that. Not happening as a three-peat.
I don't see a three-peat. I really don't. I honestly I think they're done. I think they're done getting Super Bowl wins unless But they do have a good coach, Andy Reid. He's one of the greats. But I think they're done because you got young teams coming up. You got Pitt coming up. You got Houston coming up. Minnesota's right there. You got Lions who's right there of coming up. So you got some good teams that's on an up and up. So I think Kansas City's done. If they don't win this year, they won't win again.
Yeah, I think they'll make some major moves in the draft. Maybe fill some holes that they need to get filled to be in contention in 2025.
And granted, Isaiah Pacheco is hurt. I get it, but is that the only man that you have to count on? Absolutely not.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that defense.
Yeah, man, he looks pretty good coming off of that injury.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, even Casey's defense isn't up to par. That line's trash. I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. This next topic is interesting. I like it. Before I give mine out, Holder, who is your MVP as of right now? Who do you think is going to win? Or do you think is the favorite to win?
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. I agree. I sort of kind of agree with you. I had Lamar Jackson, but I don't think it's going to be Jackson. I think Jackson is up there, but I kind of persuade that. I know I love Jackson Hunter when I gave you this out, but today I was doing some research. I like to see Barkley get it.
Yeah, he's in the running too. I mean, he's because a lot of people, it wasn't just. I mean, NFL analysts thought he was done too. I mean, even though they thought he was better than Daniel Jones, but they pretty much wrote him off.
Oh, for sure, especially after that gruesome injury he had. And now look, he came back and he's rushing almost 2,000 yards already. And the reason why I persuade from Jackson is because Jackson, he has some good weapons over there. He has Isaiah Likely, he has Zay Flowers. That defense is okay, but Barkley's making things happen on his own as we speak. I mean, the hose closed up, but he's getting through those hose pretty quickly. He's explosive. He's doing things that we didn't see him do in the Giants uniform. And I'm not saying he's helping. I mean, he's helping Philadelphia out on offensive load.
No doubt.
I mean, and without Barkley, I don't think Philadelphia would be where they're at. And
yeah, no doubt.
And MVP goes to the most explosive offensive player, defensive player, and I believe it should be Barkley. Barkley is doing things, like I said, doing things we didn't see him do in Jets uniform or John's uniform.
Yeah, I think he's a strong runner too. I mean, a strong runner up.
And I get it. You said Jared Goff, he's a quarterback. We see a lot of quarterbacks get it. We don't really see a lot of running backs get it. I'm personally, I want to see Barkley get one. I want to see him get it.
Well, I think if he doesn't get it, he should get comeback player of the year.
Oh yeah, I agree 100% with that. 100% with that. I mean, so, but yeah, I mean,
he's got a lot left in him, man.
Oh, and he's 27, 28, something like that. Like he's still in his prime. I want to get the listeners and subscribers involved in this one. If you guys are listening, who do you think is going to be in the runner for the MVP? Do you think is going to be the ones we just named, Goff, Jackson, or Barkley, or who do you think? Give us your opinion so we can talk about it next week on the show.
Yeah, I'm going to throw something wild at you, and just let me know what you think. What about Belichick coaching the Bears?
If he go, I mean, look, his
next year.
his resume's already tanked. And why I say that, it's because they got caught cheating. I don't think you can come back from that. I don't think you can come back from cheating. For example, to me, he needed Tom Brady. Tom Brady didn't need him. And the reason why I say that is because Brady went to Tampa Bay, got a Super Bowl without him, right?
Right.
Belichick coached, and he didn't go to the playoffs at all after Brady. So I believe that he goes to the Bears. He's not going to be a Hall of Famer. Will not be a first ballot
Because
Hall of Famer at all.
Mac Jones was a pretty high prospect coming out of college.
And he was.
Along, you think that's because Belichick has lost it because Brady left?
That and you got to think they didn't really have any explosive receivers over there. No good running backs over there. Defense was okay still, but yeah, I think he couldn't do what he wanted to do. He couldn't do what he wanted to do when he did with Tom Brady, and because he knew Tom Brady was that guy that was
had Ezekiel Elliott over there, man.
You almost got hung up on. But he knew Brady, because you got to think he coached Mac Jones for 2 years, maybe 3, but he was with Tom Brady for a good while,
something like that. Yeah.
So I don't think he was, and maybe because he didn't have a lot of time with Mac Jones like he did with Tom Brady.
Yeah, I don't think he was in rebuild mode. Starting with a fresh quarterback, trying to mold him, and yeah, I don't think he had that in him. But it still is the same thing with Caleb. If he goes to Chicago, then there's something in the air about him.
I don't think he's going to go to Chicago.
I just thought I'd throw it at you. If you heard anything about this.
I haven't heard anything. I don't think he's going to go to Chicago though. If he does, he'll be a dumb. You know what? I'm gonna watch my mouth. Already cussed once. He's gonna be dumb. Speaking of coaches, I'm gonna throw this one out there to you because I was watching this interview. Deion Sanders, when he said that watch next year when Dallas drafts my son, I'll be over there because somebody's got to get rid of Prescott. Do you think that was a sign of him saying I'm coming to Dallas?
No, but he hopes and prays. It's not guaranteed that's going to happen. I mean, if they do that, is he going to sit the bench behind Dak? Are they going to let Dak go?
I think no matter what, I think Dallas should let Dak go.
Kid behind the quarterback position and let him.
Sanders he's good, but he's not NFL ready yet. If you get what I'm saying, he's not NFL ready yet.
No, not even.
But if I was Dallas, I'd still let go Dak Prescott.
You would?
I would, yeah. I mean, you won't get much for him, but yeah, let him go.
Don't be
like the Giants and lease him, trade him, get some draft picks for him, get some stock for him. Make things happen.
You just paid him.
That's true. I know, but still.
I'm not happy that. I know I'm backtracking, but I'm not very disappointed.
I had work. I know you said that I missed it, and I'm glad. So
yeah, I mean they didn't show her that much. I think 3 times total. But okay.
And that's what's crazy because I was watching last week when the Bears and Vikings played. I was watching and they showed the Olympic medalist for gymnastics. What's her name? Simone Biles or whatever. They showed her once, and I'm like, I want to watch football. I don't want to see her either, because her husband plays for the Bears, and he's the one that got the fumble. He's the one that got the fumble from Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I know her husband plays.
He's
for the Bears.
He's the one that got that fumble out of Aaron Jones, and when that happened, they showed her. I'm like, man, I want to watch football. If I want to watch her, I'll watch the Olympics or gymnastics. I'm here to watch football. It gets irritating.
You're saying there's no room for anything outside of football.
Look,
to be shown during the game.
No, here's why. We are so ready for football season. Okay, when it was ready to come, it was like, yes, let's go watch football. Football season is ready on. And all of a sudden you see Taylor Swift's ugly ass, or you see somebody else. It's like, come on, really? Guys, football season, come on. We've been waiting, half a year for this.
Oh, my goodness. Morgan, you really need to just calm down and just come off of it, man. It's over. It's going to be a thing, especially if they get married.
Oh God, I'm glad
It's
my
going to be a
Kansas.
Kansas City thing.
I'm glad my Kansas City fan. So, with that being said, Holder, you ready for the picks? Are you ready to lose again? I mean, I think you beat me maybe twice, but
That's because I make unforeseen choices
and I think you
that
made
are
another
bold
one.
predictions. Okay,
I think you made another one.
bold predictions.
I think you made another one. Um, we had 3 games Thursday for Thanksgiving. By the way, folks, I forgot to say it. Happy holidays. So sorry that I didn't say that at the beginning of the show. Happy
Yeah,
holidays.
shame on you.
We had 3 games. Thursday we had Chicago, Detroit, Giants, Dallas, Miami, Green Bay. Um, I, what's crazy is I sent this over to Coach V to get his picks for the week. We all 3 picked Detroit. Detroit ended up winning, but me and you picked Dallas. Coach V picked the Giants. I don't know why he picked the Giants, but he picked the Giants. I guess he was desperate. I don't know. Um,
Well, I guess maybe they could prove something after Daniel Jones left. I guess
yeah,
would
they
be
proved to get the ass kicked. That's
the
what they
only
did.
reason I think he would do that. And I don't know who's the quarterback out there. Drew Lock.
Drew Lock, yeah. Well, him and David, what was it? Tommy, not Tommy DeVito. Yeah, Tommy, but Tommy didn't play because Tommy was hurt, so Drew Lock started.
Oh, well, Lock didn't look terrible. In fact, he had a good run. I thought he scored on it, but
But here's the thing: when you don't have good weapons over there, you can't. Besides Neighbors, Neighbors is like the only good guy out there that's worth even watching. And
yeah.
he, but I don't
Well,
get.
Coach, I'm sure Coach had his reasons, and you should have reached out to him and found out
Maybe he was daydreaming.
why.
I'm gonna reach out to him and maybe next week we can get an answer on that one because I'm kind of puzzled. Next game, me and you had Green Bay. He had Miami. Green Bay ended up winning really bad, but Green Bay won. Do, I don't I'm speechless on that because I thought it was gonna be a closer game than what it was.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know. Everybody's hyped up. Now, yeah, Tua did come back, and they won what, two straight, three
Yeah, they
straight.
won. They won. They won.
Um,
But
but I don't see them being really strong.
I think they're done. I don't think they're going to be in a playoff run. I don't. That's me. Again, maybe I'm biased, but I don't see them being in the playoff hunt. Uh, for some odd reason, it was a Black Friday game, which is a head puzzle because it was 2 teams that I thought Kansas City should be a primetime Sunday night, Monday night game with them since they're defending Super Bowl champions. But they ended up playing yesterday against the Raiders. We all 3 had the Chiefs. We just talked about what happened, the breakdown for that, but we all 3 had the Chiefs.
Yeah, well, Morgan, that game was a divisional game. That's probably why it scored a high primetime position.
Yeah, but a 2-9 team.
During the holiday weekend, right?
I would rather have Pittsburgh and Cincinnati play last night than watching. And here's the thing: they played at what 3 o'clock.
Morgan,
People was working.
that was a very competitive ball game.
Okay, but they played at 3 o'clock. I was working. People was working. They didn't get to watch this game, and people was shopping on Black Friday still.
I picked Kansas City, but man, I was on the edge of my seat whenever the Raiders got the ball because they were everything was clicking until that last 20 something seconds. All they had to do was kick a field goal to win the game.
Yeah,
the center snatched the ball when the quarterback wasn't looking.
Do you blame the coach on that for not kicking the field goal, or do you blame the quarterback for not paying attention?
No, they had plenty of time to run another play, and still be able to kick the field goal and win. Now, the field goal kicker was not having his best game. I think he missed 3.
So
But this one would have been
technically,
inside of the
it was
25-yard line.
It was the kicker's fault why they lost. Then that's what you're saying.
So the kicker, man, I think the center. I blame the game on the center. You know, we probably heard something, or they were going.
But you wouldn't. So you don't put blame on the
silent count or
but
something. I don't know, but he snapped the ball, and clearly O'Connor was looking down the line of scrimmage.
So you don't blame. So you don't blame the kicker for missing 3 field goals.
Well, I blame the kicker too. I mean, everything when you miss opportunities, yeah, there is a blame. Because what's the kicker's job? He only has one job. And Morgan, when I tell you, all of his kicks were short, not off to the left or right. They were all, I think 2 were short and 1 was off. And it was like, wow.
Okay.
So it was a barn burner though. Good game. I mean, you know, like you and I discussed, this is a team that Kansas City should be blowing out.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Next games is tomorrow. We all 3 have the Chargers. The Chargers plays at Atlanta. Hopefully the Chargers can get a rebound and win.
I see you're giving up on Atlanta now. You were pretty hopeful high on them early in the season.
Look, Atlanta is iffy. I mean, Chargers is iffy too, but Chargers defense is pretty stout compared to Atlanta's. Atlanta just got a couple offensive weapons over there. Defense needs some work, but I think the Chargers has something to prove. I think
the Chargers, they shot themselves in the foot playing Baltimore. I mean, if they would have went, man, score for score, had it not been for a bunch of stupid penalties, you know, it would have probably been a good game. But I saw a lot of promise with Justin Herbert.
Oh yeah,
he did not have a bad game.
And no, he didn't. And I think he's coming along now. I think once he simmers down and gets confidence back up, he's going to be phenomenal. So, and hopefully this is the right direction.
You know what's terrible?
What?
You know what's terrible? I mean, those California fans, they just let the visiting teams take over their stadiums, man.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Like they don't even show up.
Well, and here's the thing. And you remember when they was in San Diego with the Chargers, you know, the Chargers, they lost hope over there when the Chargers was in San Diego. So I think that's what there's no hope over there. I think they need to get that back.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, that's a beautiful stadium too. Maybe I'm sure they raised ticket prices, but man, you got to represent the home team, man.
And that's that's SoFi Stadium. Is that the Rams Stadium as well, ain't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's a nice stadium, beautiful stadium. I like it. Yeah, I'm with you. You gotta show up and show out. You know, you don't get too many opportunities to see a home team.
But you're the 12th man, right? You're the noisemaker. Quarterback, not just the quarterback, the receivers are on the far end of the line, and it makes it hard for them. Even though if they go on the no count, it still makes a difference.
Oh, absolutely. I'm hoping tomorrow, like I said, I hope tomorrow this is a rebound game. Chargers can come out. Because I had hopes for Chargers a couple years ago. And you know this, when we first started doing this show, I had hopes for the Chargers. Maybe this is a rebound game. Maybe they get their momentum back that they need.
Did you have high hopes for the Chargers or Justin Fields or Justin Herbert?
The Chargers, because they had Khalil Mack. They had, they had J.C. Jackson over there on defenses with them. They had Joey Bosa. I had hopes for that team.
Okay.
Next game.
I'll live with that. Bring on the next game. Give me something juicy.
Next game is a divisional game. This is your team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, against those kitty cats.
Kitty cats.
Yeah.
Well,
because let me tell you, they're not winning games, so I can't call them the Bengals. So they're the kitten cat. They're the kitty cats. Okay.
Yeah, but they're still dangerous. They're still dangerous.
Are they?
Or are they second to last in the division?
Second to last. Yep. Are they dangerous, or does people just take them lightly? That's the question.
I think they're dangerous. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins starting to get their flow. Good rhythm. The defense is, I don't know. Look, the offensive line is still shoddy.
Me, you, and Coach Var, we all three got Pittsburgh. I'm going to tell you right now. I think Pittsburgh's going to come out firing all cylinders on that defensive squad. I think Joe Burrow doesn't know what's going to hit him. I think Jamar Chase, he's going to get his yards. He's going to get 100 yards. But no touchdowns. And Joe Burrow's going to throw no touchdowns. Joe Burrow is going to get trigger happy and throw either short passes to Chase or throw over his head where Chase got to go up for the ball and try to get it. They're not going to be on target, I can tell you that.
Is this what you're seeing out of Burrow this year, or is this just a bold prediction?
This is what I've seen. I've seen Joe Burrow throw some careless passes. And I think right now they're going to go against. To me, Pittsburgh's one of the hottest defensive teams right now in the league. I think Pittsburgh has the best defense in NFL.
Yeah, I think they're going to be. I think Jaylen Warren is going to get more carries this game too. I think they're going to raise his carries above 50%.
And not to mention, I don't know how Joe Burrow is going to deal in this kind of cold environment. Yes, I know Cincinnati is used to cold, but are they used to this kind of cold weather that's coming right now? I mean, we've seen Pittsburgh play in cold weather last week, and Pittsburgh's hungry. Pittsburgh, I was gonna say Pittsburgh's hungry. They want that win. They want to come back on track as well. So again, they're gonna come firing all cylinders. They're gonna come out aggressive.
Well, they got to come out aggressive, and they have to stay on top of the AFC North because the Ravens are a game and a half behind.
And I'm gonna tell you right now.
So the Ravens have a tough matchup coming up.
Oh yeah. Definitely have a tough matchup. I think it's going to happen. I think Pittsburgh is going to go down the field, score 2 touchdowns before the second quarter, and then they're not going to let up.
That's a good prediction, Morgan. I think I'm going to have to. I think you're an undercover Steelers fan.
No, negative, boss. I just want to speak the truth tonight, and the truth is Pittsburgh defense is something that Joe Burrow is going to have to get used to playing tomorrow.
I think you are. I think I'm going to have to get you a Steelers T-shirt.
No. No, please don't. I will burn that and send it to you.
A friend to a friend, man. Did you say the word burn?
Yes.
You're not making any friends with Steelers fans. Steelers Nation is large and in charge.
No.
Give me the next game because you're gonna make me curse.
I'm just saying. I'm not a Pittsburgh fan. I won't be a Pittsburgh fan, but I do like Mike Tomlin and I like what he brings to the table. Next up,
JJ. You don't like TJ Watt?
TJ Watt's good. He's good. Not my favorite player on the Steelers. My favorite player on the Steelers, and I hate to say this, is George Pickens.
Really?
Yeah. Pickens reminds me of.
You being a.
Pickens reminds me of
a big JJ fan.
Well, he reminds me of JJ. He will go get the ball when you throw it to him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's overthrown. It doesn't matter if it's underthrown. He's gonna get the ball.
Okay, I'm almost impressed.
And he has a lot of speed. I think he's more faster than JJ, but.
You didn't give him a lot of props when he was with the Bulldogs. I don't understand. And I know he was injured, but you're not. I don't know. Are you trying to mentally screw my head up?
No, I don't need to do that. You did that already by being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Next up, I don't know. I gotta ask Coach Vara again why he did this because he picked Arizona over Minnesota. Me and you picked Minnesota. You know I picked Minnesota. I'm a Minnesota Viking fan. Um, I, I don't think Arizona is in the best place to go against a team at home like Minnesota. I think Minnesota's going to put a whooping on Arizona. They need to win this game to stay right there with Detroit Lions to be in that second spot for the NFC North. If they drop, it gives Green Bay a green light to maybe secure that second spot. So we Minnesota needs to win that game, and I don't think Arizona's offense is compatible with Minnesota's defense. I don't think Arizona's defense is
Really?
compatible with
Oh my
Minnesota's
goodness,
offense.
Morgan. Look, I picked Minnesota, but Arizona is such a sneaky team, man. I
They are,
mean,
and hear me out.
Marvin Harrison Jr. has been pretty dang good,
If Sam
and
Donald
James Conner is running like
and James Conner
I
got a
don't know
two,
what's
they
wrong
gave
with that dude.
they gave James Conner a 2-year extension. But here's the thing: if Sam Donald can come down and not make any costly mistakes, if we don't make any costly penalties, I think Minnesota can take this game hands down.
Do you think Minnesota can keep Kyler Murray
I think
end up on the inside? I mean,
if we contain him,
you,
if we can contain him, I don't see him giving us any problems. Yeah, I'm gonna say keep him in the inside because when he gets on the outside, it's over. He's fast. So yeah, keep him on the inside. If we can have our defensive ends uh, shoot in and come from each side, and don't let him get around, we'll be good. We'll be good.
give me a bold score.
I'm
I
gonna
mean, this is
say
like an honest to goodness
I'm gonna say
real
20,
score.
28-17.
28-17. So they're going to score a touchdown every time they score.
They're gonna get 2 touchdowns and then kick a field goal. But Minnesota's definitely gonna score every time they get the ball.
No, I mean Minnesota.
Oh yeah,
Minnesota's going to score
yeah,
a
for
touchdown
sure.
every time they
Yeah,
score.
Hands down. I don't see Arizona's defense stopping Jordan Addison.
No field goal.
No, I just don't see their defense stopping Jordan Addison. Justin Jefferson, by the way, didn't get a lot of touches last game, so this game he's gonna come out wanting that ball because he wants something to prove. So,
Oh yeah, Addison was the dagger. I mean, Justin Jefferson drew a lot of coverage. And that opened up Addison big time.
And I just don't see Arizona. Look, Arizona might be good, but I just see Justin Jefferson getting his yards this game with Jordan Addison.
Really?
Yeah. I think Jordan Addison and JJ both will have 100 yards.
28-17. Give me a halftime score.
I'm gonna say 14-7, Minnesota.
Wow. Okay, well you're giving depending on who defers and who accepts first. So, okay, I'll give you that. I thought you would give me more points than that, but seeing as how you predicted 4 touchdowns,
no,
they'd be half.
And again,
they'd be halfway.
And again,
at halftime. So 14-7.
Mm-hmm. And that's if we can keep Kyler Murray contained. If we can't contain him, it's going to be a close game throughout the game.
Now, is that a morning? Is that a afternoon?
That's a 1 o'clock game.
1 o'clock. Or late in the evening?
It's a 1 o'clock game.
1 o'clock. Are you going to be awake?
I got church. Of course I'll be awake.
Are you going to be home?
Yeah, I'll be home catching that game.
I don't think so. I think you'll still be in church.
We get out of church about 12.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not the first Sunday, so okay. No, you're right. And please pray for forgiveness for all these other people's teams you've been cursing. Oh my goodness, we haven't even got to Dallas yet. Okay,
that is something. We talked about Dallas because I had them winning against the Giants, but I'm not apologizing to no one's team this week because I didn't give anybody's team any cursing this week so far yet.
Not yet, because I have one in mind.
Next up, we all three, me, you, and Coach Vara, we have the Colts over New England. You know I got the Colts over New England. I don't like New England. But they are playing in New England, and this is a divisional game. I think Anthony Richardson needs to win this to stay alive in the playoff hunt. I also think the coach need to win this to stay alive in the playoff hunt. So it comes down to the quarterback and the team. If they don't win this, I think their playoff hopes are done.
Does Anthony Richardson need to win this to keep his status?
He needs to win this. He needs to win.
Especially after the tap out, that's going to always be.
He needs to
that's
win.
Going to always be something that the NFL is going to talk about.
So hear me out, and fans, please chime in. Anthony Richardson needs to win. I'm gonna say needs to win every game possible, including a playoff game, to keep his reputation. If not, I think the coach will let him go. And
really?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow. That's pretty deep. And he's been there, 3 years? This is his third year?
This will be his second year. Because he came second year. Because last year was
he was hurt.
Yeah, he was hurt last year.
Rookie year, right?
Yeah, he was hurt last year. So this will be his second year. Especially with him touching his helmet and getting out. I think the coach is watching him closely than what they was. So I think any mistake that he does, I think he'd be gone.
Well, do you think Flacco will remain the backup next season?
I think Flacco's going to retire. I think he's done. He don't need anything. He don't need to prove anything. I think he's done everything he could, and I think he's going to be a backup regardless where he goes. So why not retire?
Right. Okay. Well, that being said, it sounds like they're going to be doing some quarterback shopping.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like the coach is going to do something that we don't know. I think they got something up their sleeve. I'm just saying. I mean, Anthony Richardson is not a bad player. He's not. Richardson's not a bad player. He's a good quarterback. I just think he don't want to play for the coach.
Do you think he is injury prone?
Give me the next year to ask that question, and I'll tell you. Because he's only been hurt twice this year. The only thing, the thing I see right now is that he's not a leader. That's the only thing I can see right now. He's not a leader. If he was a leader, you wouldn't tap your helmet to come out. You would have won going outfield to try to win that game.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree.
That's me.
What else you got? Give me something. You've been. Come on, I need you to give me substance.
Next game is Seattle Jets. Me, you, and Coach Vari. We all three have Seattle. You know I got Seattle.
Seattle, yeah. Okay, well, we know the Jets are terrible, but is Seattle good enough to beat the Jets?
I think so. I think Geno Smith has, because he came from the Jets. He played for the Jets. I think he has something to show them. He has something to prove to the Jets. Like, hey, you messed up by letting me go. I'm coming to beat you. I think so. Even though this is in New York, they're playing the Jets at the Jets facility. I still think Geno Smith has something to prove.
Yeah, I mean, we all picked Seattle for a reason, but you don't have that.
See, Seattle needs to win. Seattle needs to win. Okay, Seattle needs to win all the games, if not about three of them, to stay in that divisional as a lead. Because you got Arizona, you got the Rams. Those two teams are coming up to that first place. Not so much 49ers, but you do have the Rams that's coming up because they're winning games now. You have Arizona who's winning games now. So you need to keep winning and you need to keep pressuring those two teams. If not, you're going to fall down and you're going to end up not making the playoffs. So I think Seattle got something to prove, and that's making the playoffs again. And that's shutting up people like me and you who think, oh, it was a fluke. They're not going to,
Now, is Seattle in last place?
No, the 49ers are in last in that division. I want to say that Seattle was in first.
Lost again. Wow, yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, Seattle. Well, Seattle and Arizona are both tied. So depending on how it plays out, if Arizona loses tomorrow and Seattle wins, Seattle will be a game above the Cardinals, and the Rams needs to win. They need to win out because
Yeah.
they're about a game and a half behind Seattle and Arizona.
Yeah. Well, they're not getting any support from their fans, man. It's scary.
And the 49ers and the Rams, they both are 5-6. And I think the Rams has a better chance and a better better coaching
Yeah.
to go to the playoffs over the 49ers. But again, it comes down to who wants it more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
see what happens.
I hate agreeing with you, but I have to agree with you.
I think you agreed with me more this show than you ever have.
Oh my God, and it is so traumatizing. You have no idea.
Next game is Tennessee Washington. We all got Washington over Tennessee. You already know I got Washington. I have faith in Washington. I haven't lost that faith yet. Now, if they lose tomorrow against Tennessee, that faith will go away. But right now, I do have faith in Washington. I think Washington is going to be a tough team to beat come playoff time.
Do me a favor. Bring up Washington's schedule, and you tell me, do they have a chance to win out?
Well, they don't have to. They don't got to win out. They just got to win. They got to win enough games to stay in the playoff.
They can win out.
Let's see.
Do you think they can win out? I mean, given that they're a good team and they dropped a couple of games
for sure. So hear me out. They got Tennessee tomorrow. Then the week after they got the Saints, who I think they can beat both teams. Then they got the Eagles. The Eagles are going to give them hell. The Eagles gave them hell last time they played. Even though they're playing at home, against the Eagles. Then they got the Falcons, who I think the Falcons is going to lose that game. And they got the Cowboys. The Cowboys have to win that game because the Cowboys got to win out. I think Washington is going to cause havoc for the Cowboys. Yes, divisional game. The Cowboys did beat Washington, but I think Washington wants to stay that hope. I think they want to win. So if Washington can beat the Eagles,
the Cowboy win was a fluke. I mean, to be honest,
I think it was. I don't think Cooper Rush is that guy to get him enough wins. I think Cooper Rush's time is about done. I think what 3 games he's won already. I think his time's running out. I really do.
I like Cooper Rush. I just don't think Dallas as a whole.
And the reason why I say his time's running out because
can beat the Commanders. I just don't.
Well, and the reason why I say his time's running out because CeeDee Lamb. I mean, he hurt. CeeDee Lamb didn't catch hardly any passes last game.
He dropped. Man, he dropped.
And now
3 for sure.
And now he's saying his shoulder is still messed up. The AC joint was messed up here when Dak Prescott got hurt. So I would think if I was a Cowboy, I would be smart enough to hold out CeeDee Lamb. I wouldn't let him play for the rest of the year. Take your chances of not going to the playoffs because if not, you're going to take your chances of getting your best receiver hurt and maybe not be able to play next year.
Yeah. I think they'll make the wild card. Well, what are they? Second in the division right now?
They're third. It's Philadelphia, Washington, and Dallas. Yeah, Dallas is 5-7.
I think they'll overcome Dallas. I think they'll get into the wild card.
Oh, Washington. My bad. I thought you meant Dallas. Yeah, Washington's second. My bad. I'm sorry. Washington's second in the division.
Don't do that to me, man. Don't do that to me.
My bad. Next up.
Putting Dallas off of a division is. Okay. We won't go there because I know you have family members.
I believe Dallas should really go ahead and sell out CeeDee Lamb. Like I said, because you might not win out, and even if you do win out, you might not make the playoffs still. So go ahead and sit him out, hold him out until it gets better. That's me. Can't take that chance.
Okay.
Next up we got Houston Texans and Jacksonville Jaguars. We all picked Houston. I got Houston. I like C.J. Stroud. And Jacksonville hasn't really showed me anything why I should pick them this year.
Do you like the defense of the
Oh, absolutely. They have Will Anderson. To me, I think Will Anderson is going to be the best defensive player that Houston has ever got, besides Watt. I think he's gonna be better than Watt eventually.
Do you see a DPOY in his future?
Oh, absolutely. I see a couple in his future. Look, the guy is phenomenal. He's amazing. He brings a lot of trouble to any quarterback he goes against. And I think with him not on the field, I think that team is done. With him on the field, I think he gives them that motor, the high spark they need.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
So is he the face of the defense? Is that what you're telling me?
Oh yes, yes, yeah. Well, hands down, face defense. I think you build
Now,
around him.
D'Amico Ryan is a defensive coach, right?
He was. He's the head coach now, though.
Yeah, I'm
Oh
saying
yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
a defensive
Yeah.
coach.
He has a mindset of a defensive coach. Yeah. And I think Houston builds around Will Anderson. I think that defense is going to be something scary.
We shall see, my friend. We shall see.
I mean, yeah, I like him. I like the guy.
Yeah, I
Next,
know. I know you're a big CJ Stroud believer.
next up is the Rams and New Orleans. We all three got the Rams. I don't think New Orleans. I think New Orleans is done. I think their time has run out as well. I think the Rams is coming along pretty strong now with what they have. You know, Cooper Cup, and then the other receiver they got. I think with them two, even that running back. I think their chemistry is there again. I think they're going to be unstoppable, and I think again the Saints don't have nothing to compare.
Do you think it's time for Kamara to move on?
I thought that last year, and I still think he should. Will the Saints trade him? No, because the Saints know what they got in him. They're not dumb. I mean, look, they had Michael Thomas for all those years until they was like, hey, we're done. We're not gonna sign you again, and that was recently. So they're not dumb. They know what they got in
Yeah, but
Kamara.
Michael Thomas sustained some injuries, but you don't think they can get some good draft capital
Oh,
for him?
for sure.
For Kamara?
Yeah, they sure can. But will they trade him? No, no. I don't
That's
think they
the
will.
team that. Do you think they are rebuilding?
The Saints, no,
Or
they
should rebuild?
no, they just need a good quarterback, and I don't think Carr's that guy.
Interesting.
I mean,
No, I don't think he is either. Like we talked about earlier in the season, he's a band-aid. He's just a quick fix,
now
not a Super Bowl caliber type quarterback.
do I think the coach they got over there? Do I think he's good? It's main to be seen because again, Derek Carr is not a good quarterback. I think their defense needs
Really?
I think their defense needs worked on, but other than that, man, I mean, they got some young talent over there. So again, why would they trade Alvin Kamara and maybe not get a good running back in the draft or even sign one? Again, we'll just remain to be seen.
Yeah.
Next up is another divisional game is Tampa Bay and Carolina. We all three got Tampa Bay. Do you think Carolina can upset Tampa Bay? I mean, Carolina's been upsetting some teams recently. Do you think they can upset Tampa Bay?
Only if they can rattle Baker Mayfield. If they can make Baker Mayfield play like a rookie, yeah. This game to me solely the defense has to do something to rattle him. Make him do stupid mistakes.
I I I I don't think Carolina's defense has and this is me. I don't think their defense is going to be good enough to even stop. And I hate to say it, Baker Mayfield or the running game they got over there. But this is a divisional game. We've seen how close the Chiefs and Las Vegas was. So let's see what happens.
Will this loss hurt Tampa if they lose?
I don't think it's going to hurt them. I think they still got a shot at going to the playoffs, but this would, I think, if they lose, what's going to happen? It's going to throw some shades at some people's way. Like this team is not serious. The team is a joke. Um, but yeah, I don't see them. I don't see them getting hurt by it. Yeah, I do. I looked at this. So Tampa Bay really needs to win, and they need Atlanta to lose tomorrow to get because right now they're in second. So yeah, this loss could hurt them. Absolutely could hurt them.
Yeah, yeah. I was just looking at, I didn't want to burst your bubble, but yeah, they really need this win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully, hopefully, you know, because we picked the same team, I don't feel threatened by you beating me this week. So, but normally Baker Mayfield, no, he's not my pick for anything.
No, if it was anybody else, I wouldn't pick him either. But again, I want to beat you, and I know you want to beat me. I mean, we're competitive, and we both know what it takes to win. And we know if we pick Carolina,
Oh,
it's not gonna give us a shot to win.
oh, jeez.
Next up is a game that I think is gonna give us a chance to brag. Right, it's gonna give us bragging rights because you and Barry got Philadelphia. I picked Baltimore. They're playing at Baltimore. It's gonna be a good game. It's for sure gonna be a good game. We got two of the top quarterbacks in the league. Uh, two of the best running games in the league. It's gonna be phenomenal. I can't wait. Can
Now,
can
you realize Baltimore has been terrible at stopping the run,
they also have been terrible at stopping the pass?
have been terrible at stopping the pass.
But Philadelphia also isn't too good at stopping the pass. Now their run defense is phenomenal, but the passing defense, I think Philadelphia needs to work on. It's gonna be a good game all in all. I think it's gonna come down
Let me
to it.
tell you,
I think.
if Brown chose Humphrey, because I know they're going to put Humphreys on Brown.
Oh well, and that's the thing. You got to do something. If it was me, if I was Baltimore, I would run a zone defense and put a safety to help over Humphrey to double team, not show it, but I would double team Brown.
You gotta bracket Brown, but
But that's still
I
going to give
don't
you
know.
because
I
because
don't
because
know, man.
Philadelphia also has good receivers, not just Brown. You know what I mean? They got some more. They got some other good receivers. But I think
Oh
this is
yeah, they got my boy from Alabama. God, I can't call his name out. Mm-mm. The Smith?
yeah
No.
Dante Smith, or is it Dante Smith? I'm gonna look real quick, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's Smith. But oh man, that guy is it Devontae or
Yeah, it's Devontae Smith.
he's good, man. He hasn't been half bad since his draft day.
Oh
He's
no
been
no,
pretty
and
good.
he is good. He is good. And right now I think Barkley, if Barkley can outshine Derrick Henry, Barkley will hands down be the king of rushing this year.
Well, I mean, if what's his name can stop the run, kid they drafted that had off the field issues on defense, on defensive line. Um, he was racing or something.
Right.
Before he was drafted, he got in trouble.
Oh, he's about Jalen Carter.
Carter, yeah. If Carter can feel up, I think they might run away from Carter though.
Big possibility. Big possibility. Next up is San Fran and Buffalo. Again, I don't know what VAR. I think Vari needs to put down the flask, but he picked San Fran over Buffalo. Me and you got Buffalo. I think Buffalo needs this win more than 49ers, but I think 49ers also needs to win because they need to stay in that playoff hope. But I think Buffalo needs this win because they need to be the number 2 team in the AFC.
Well, I may have picked Buffalo, but my heart wants San Fran to win that because CMC is back.
Yeah,
And
but
I don't know how healthy Purdy is.
Purdy is playing, but he is still he's still having some soreness in his shoulder. I mean, I know they have Williams. Williams ain't playing. Bosa, I think, is questionable. So
So you think Buffalo's going to blow these guys out? Now, where are
no,
they playing? Are they in Buffalo?
yeah, they're in Buffalo. I'm not gonna say blow them out. I think the score is gonna be 31. Or yeah, 31-28. It's not gonna be a blowout.
Cold game. It's a cold game, Morgan.
Still, I think Buffalo's going to win by 3.
It gets cold in San Francisco, but it gets. I've been to San Francisco.
And,
It gets pretty cold, but not Buffalo
this
cold.
is going to be a 4 o'clock game, so we know the Bills Mafia is going to be phenomenal, like it was against the Chiefs. The last game
is going to be snow.
Oh yeah, hands down, because it's snowing here. It's gonna snow.
It's snowing there.
Yeah, not bad, but it is. Last game is Cleveland and Denver. It's a Monday night game. We all got Denver. I think this is a must win for Denver, so they can stay in that playoff picture as well. I think Cleveland is done. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. So
yeah, Coach had a lot of praise for Bo Nix, and because Bo Nix is an Oregon quarterback, ex-quarterback, but he has had a major turnaround. I mean, he is playing on time. His decisions, he's reading the defenses, he's using his legs to. I mean, he's doing some things.
I think Bo Nix is going to be phenomenal. I really do. I think it's going to be phenomenal for years to come.
But you got that Cleveland pass rush, Morgan.
Yeah, but I think Denver's is going to match up really well with Cleveland's defense. So
I think Sutton is going to have a big game too.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't think Cleveland and you got Jameson Winston over there. I'm looking for him to throw a couple of interceptions.
Really?
Yeah. So
give me a score. Give me a score. I'm curious.
I'm gonna say Denver 28 and Cleveland. I'm gonna say 10.
Wow. 28. Denver's going to put up 28.
Oh, absolutely. They put up 28 against Kansas City. And Kansas City's a hell a lot better than the Browns.
I'm going to go 20-13. 20-13.
But yeah, so
does that sound doable?
Yeah, that sounds doable. We'll see what's going to happen, I guess. So, with that being said,
I don't like you.
With that being said, listeners, subscribers, please chime in. Let us know your thoughts on our picks, and let us know about the MVP candidates. Next week, chime in, and we'll give you some updates who we think maybe should win the maybe Defensive Player of the Year or Rookie of the Year, or even Offensive Player of the Year. So, give us your thoughts. With that being said, Holder, do you want to, before we close out, do you want to add anything?
I would like to send a shout out to Cowboys fans for their 2 straight victories.
Okay. I'm not giving a shout out to no Cowboy fans. I do want to say be happy I didn't bust y'all's tails this week or any other teams this week like I usually do.
Well, I think if Watson was playing, you might have.
Oh, I definitely would. I definitely would have. With that being said, listeners, subscribers, chime in every Saturday night. Maybe we can do something during the week. Never know. Just chime in. Give us your thoughts and opinions. You can always find us on Third Down. It's 3RD down with Morgan Holder. With that being said, don't let 4th down get you.
Wow. I'm shocked Morgan didn't have a whole lot to say this time. That's a good sign off, Morgan, because 3rd down has been very crucial for a lot of teams out there. So I'm going to end this. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and listening to my true statements and Morgan's false. I don't know what Morgan is doing these days. He's not throwing up any stats. I think he's just shooting from the hip. But keep on coming in, checking us out, make recommendations to friends to listen in. And like he said, you guys go ahead and chime in, and who knows, maybe we can have you as a guest on the show. That being said, please stay penalty free, and we are out here.